Good day, everyone, and thank you for joining the session at the 2025 Night IEEE Symposium on Wireless Technology and Applications. My name is Abib Shitu, and today I'm presenting our research on the IoT enabled microgrid and battery energy storage system integration in advanced distribution management systems, specifically a framework for climate resilient grid operation. And I'm presenting on my co-authors, Mujib Shitu, Taiwo Akintayo, and Ifeanyi Opara. Let me begin by establishing the context and motivation for this research. Climate change is fundamentally disrupting the reliability and performance of electrical power systems worldwide. We are seeing extreme weather events, hurricanes, wildfires, heat waves, and floods becoming both more frequent and more intense. The number tells a striking story. From 2019 to 2023, the annual number of high impact storm events in the United States more than doubled compared to the previous 38-year period from 1980 to 2018. Our traditional power system designs, which are typically engineered to withstand what we call N-1 or N-2 contingencies, are simply not designed to handle these increasing frequent extreme events, especially those that resemble high impacts and low probability failures. Consider Hurricane Sandy as a concrete example. This storm, this storm caused an outage affecting over 8.5 million customers, effectively what we call an N-90 level event. This far exceeded what conventional contingency framework had anticipated. The bottom line on these lines captures that traditional N1 and N2 contingency framework are insufficient for extreme climate events, and we urgently need resilient, adaptive grid infrastructure that is capable of autonomous operation during these extreme disruptions. Given this challenge, our review has three primary aims. First, we examine existing frameworks for integrating three critical technologies. One, Internet of Things, battery energy storage systems, and the microgrids, all within advanced distribution management systems architecture. Second, we identify the key implementation challenges. These include technical issues like interoperability and cybersecurity, as well as economic and regulatory barriers that slow deployment. Third, we highlight emerging solutions and future research directions that can help us achieve climate resilient grids. Now, why does this really matter? While there is a growing body of literature on individual technologies, power system resilience, IoT based smart grids, and microgrids with battery storage, very few reviews comprehensively explore their combined roles under the umbrella of climate resilience. This work bridges that gap. We analyze standards like IEEE 1547, IEC 61850, and evaluate pilot implementations, including Department of Energy initiatives and European Union projects, and discuss economic, technical, and cybersecurity dimensions across all these technologies together. Let's dive into the technical foundation, starting with IoT enabled monitoring and control in microgrids. On the left, you can see the layered architecture we have identified. This comprises of four layers. At the top, The sensing layer includes devices like smart meter, phasor measurement units, and environmental sensor. This collects voltage, current, temperature, and weather data, the foundational inputs for situational awareness. After that, we have the communication layer, which uses protocols like ZigBee, LoRaWAN, and 5G to transmit this data. These protocols are chosen for their balance of energy efficiency, range, and bandwidth. Next, we have the edge computing layer. This is where the local processing happens, filtering anomalies, managing latency constraints, and reducing bandwidth needs before passing refined insights to the control center. And finally, at the bottom, we have the control center, which provides ADMS coordination using standardized protocols like MQTT and IEC 61850, ensuring interoperability within broader management frameworks. On the right side of this slide, we summarize the key benefits of this architecture. It enables real-time state estimation and fault detection. It reduces bandwidth requirements through that edge pre-processing. It provides faster response response time during weather-induced effects, and critically, it maintains interoperability with ADMS frameworks. Continuing with the data drive, but continuing with the data-driven paradigm, let me focus on two critical aspects: the real-time analytics and the cyber security. For real-time analytics, we are seeing the integration of streaming sensor data with machine learning models to estimate grid health and identify operational abnormalities. Techniques like autoencoders and convolutional neural networks are providing effective in are proving effective in recognizing voltage irregularities, fault signatures, and even cybersecurity intrusions. For predictive maintenance, recurrent neural networks, long short, long short-term memory networks, and gated recurrent units can accurately predict degradation in PV inverters and battery system based on historical sensor data, vibration, thermal, and electrical patterns. Now, while IoT and edge computing enhance operational efficiency, they also introduce significant cybersecurity risks. Here are some sobering statistics. According to a 2023 report by the US Department of Energy, over 64% of reported cyber incidents in energy infrastructures include access to the control system interfaces. IoT devices are increasingly targeted due to the weak encryption and outdated firmware. In 2022, a NERC advisory advised a rise in supply chain attacks via third-party IoT gateways. One incident comprised over 50,000 connected devices across a multi-state utility network. Our recommended mitigation strategies are shown at the bottom. This includes zero trust architecture with least privilege access and network segmentation, AI-based intrusion detection systems that learn behavioral baselines, firmware signing with secure and automated update protocols. Now let's turn to battery energy storage system, which are essential for enhancing microgrid resilience. This slide represents a comparative overview of the three key battery technologies. And the first one be the lithium-ion battery. batteries, especially lithium iron phosphate or LFP. This dominates current grid scale application due to their high energy density, 150 to 260 watt hour per kilogram, long life cycle of 2,500 to 9,000 cycles, and favorable cost. As of 2024, LFP costs have declined to approximately $100 to $150 per kilowatt hour, making them both cost effective and abundant. The key advantage here is high power, high power density combined with thermal stability, which enables rapid deployment. Second, flow batteries such as vanadium redox flow batteries. These offer unique benefits, decoupled energy and power scaling, exceptionally long life cycle, 12,000 to 14,000 cycles, and robust safety due to non-flammable electrolytes. The challenge is lower energy density and a larger physical footprint, but they are ideal for long duration storage applications. Third, the solid state batteries represent the next generation. They promise energy densities potentially exceeding 350 watt hour per kilogram and improve thermal stability by eliminating flammable liquid electrolytes. However, they are still emerging manufacturing maturity and cost remain challenges. At the bottom of this slide, we know the selection criteria. Lithium ion is chosen for compactness and rapid response. Battery storage systems support resilience through three critical operation strategies. Shown here are three columns. We have the peak shaving. Battery energy storage system unit discharge during demands, peak demand hours to reduce energy cost and grid strain. Research has shown that coordinated optimization can reduce peak demand charges by up to 50%. This is not by provided economic benefit, but also reduce grid vulnerability during high load periods, often triggered by climate-related heat waves or cold spells. Second is the frequency and the voltage regulation. Battery energy storage system provide fast response stabilization services with milliseconds level response time. This is especially important in high renewable microgrids where variable generations introduces significant fluctuations. Battery energy storage system can support grid inertia by emulating generator behavior, compensating the lost inertia from retiring synchronous machines. Recent studies show that aggregated battery energy storage system fleets can stabilize frequency in distribution system with up to 80% renewable penetration. Third is the black start capability. This is perhaps the most valuable resilience feature. Black start capability enables microgrids to restore service after total grid failure, often the result of hurricanes, wildfires, or floods. Battery energy storage system provides the initial voltage and frequency stabilization, followed by controlled reconnection of generation assets. This capability significantly reduces downtime and economic impacts, particularly in remote or vulnerable areas. These strategies work dynamically, responding to real-time data from IoT sensor and forecast, making battery energy storage system a critical component in intelligent climate, climate resilient grids. Implementation challenges. Despite the promise of these technologies, integration faces significant challenges across three dimensions. On the technical side, we have the interoperability issues due to vendor fragmentation and legacy systems. We have the communication latency. Latency poses problems for real-time control applications. Cybersecurity concerns grown with every additional IoT node or remote accessible device. And standards like IEEE 1547 and IEC 61850 are not uniformly enforced across regions. Economically, high capital expenditure remains a central barrier. The upfront cost of deploying IoT, IoT infrastructure, purchasing battery energy storage system hardware, and upgrading control software can be prohibitive without financial incentives. Return on investment varies widely based on load profiles, rate structure, and regulatory support. Operational and maintenance costs require skilled personnel, regular firmware updates, and cybersecurity audits. And the fragmented vendor ecosystem complicates cost-effective procurement and system upgrades. From a regulatory perspective, there are limitations on battery energy storage system participation in ancillary markets. Policy gaps result in insufficient incentives for resilience investments. Compliance requirements NERC, CIP, NFPA 855, UL 958-0A add complexity, and there is need for specialized workforce training. At the bottom, we emphasize that coordinated efforts among utilities, technology vendors, researchers, and policymakers are essential to overcome these barriers. Solution must not only target advanced economies, but also be adapted for rural and underserved regions in the global south. Looking forward, several emerging technologies hold significant promise for enhancing climate resilience through their maturity levels. Though their maturity levels vary. In the upper left, quantum computing. This technology is anticipated to revolutionize optimization and grid control, solving unit commitments and load balancing problems under uncertainty. However, current systems remain largely in experimental phases. As technology readiness level 2 to 3, IBM and the US Department of Energy are exploring quantum enhanced power flow modeling, but practical utility deployment is likely 5 to 10 years away. Upper right, we have the blockchain-based energy markets, which enables peer-to-peer energy trading and decentralized control. Players like Power Ledger in Australia and Brooklyn Microgrids in the US have demonstrated feasibility of TRL 6 to 7. Challenges remain in achieving transaction scalability and integrating with utility billing systems. Lower right, we have the federated learning, which enables collaborative training of AI models across decentralized IoT nodes without centralized data sharing, essential for private compliance under GDPR or HIPAA. And at the bottom right, we highlight and at the bottom we highlight the research priority, developing hybrids. Oh, sorry, I missed one. At the bottom left, we have the digital twins, which are rapidly advancing and now being piloted in live microgrids environments. So at the bottom, we highlight the research priority, which is developing hybrid classical quantum architectures, scalable blockchain consensus mechanisms, real-time digital twin synchronization, and the resilient federated learning for critical grid operations. And that'll be all. So to conclude, climate resilient grid architecture require a holistic integration of IoT, battery energy storage systems, and ADMS technologies within a layered framework. We have shown how edge computing, AI-driven analytics, and digital twin can enhance predictive capabilities and real-time response. However, the major barrier remains interoperability, cybersecurity, high capital cost, and regulatory misalignments. Standards like IEEE 1547 and IEC 61850 are critical but need consistent global enforcement. Our recommendations are therefore threefold. For researchers, focus on hybrid architectures, federated learning, and real-time digital twin synchronization. For utilities, adopt standardized framework frameworks, invest in scalable edge cloud platforms, and prioritize cybersecurity for the design phase. For policymakers, reform market rules and enable battery energy storage system participation. Provide resilience incentives and support deployment in underserved regions. Ultimately, the future of resilient energy battery systems lies in the convergence of standard-driven, AI-enhanced, and global inclusive grid architectures designed to withstand the escalating climate threats of the 21st century. Thank you for your attention, and I'm happy to take questions.